Did you know there's a town in Pennsylvania where the ground has been literally on fire for over 60 years and it's still burning today? In this video, we're revealing 7 forgotten ghost towns scattered across Pennsylvania that will completely blow your mind. These aren't your typical abandoned places. We're talking about communities with stories so wild they sound like fiction. And trust me, you'll want to stick around for number 1. It's a lost town built by one of America's most famous industrialists that completely vanished into the wilderness, and the reason why will leave you speechless. Let's jump right in. 7. Wareham. Deep in the forests of Indiana County lies one of Pennsylvania's most haunting secrets. Wareham, a ghost town so thoroughly erased that most locals don't even know it existed. This wasn't just any mining settlement. In 1901, Judge A.V. Barker and Warren Delano, FDR's uncle, poured over $1 million into creating their vision of a perfect company town. They built 250 houses complete with a bank, jail, and company store, even naming the tiny streets Broadway and the Bowery in a whimsical nod to New York City's grandeur. But Wareham's story is written in tragedy. Devastating mine explosions claimed 25 lives, and when the Bethlehem Mines Corporation took over in 1922, they made a chilling business decision. Simply abandon everything. Houses were dismantled for lumber, buildings sold for scrap. By 1934, this bustling community of hundreds had vanished almost without a trace. Today, you'll find Wareham along Pennsylvania's Ghost Town Trail, but you have to know where to look. Shadowy street outlines and crumbling foundations hide among the trees like archaeological secrets. The most eerie remnant, the old Russian Orthodox cemetery, where weathered headstones from 1902 to 1927 stand as silent witnesses to lives once lived. The crumbling Wareham Dam adds another layer of mystery. Its later collapse contributed to the catastrophic 1977 Johnstown flood, proving that some ghosts refuse to stay buried. Wareham represents the ultimate industrial mystery. How does $1 million investment simply disappear? It's a chilling reminder that even our grandest ambitions can be erased by time and economic forces beyond our control. 6. Centralia. Here's something that'll mess with your head. There's a Pennsylvania town where the ground has been literally burning since 1962. This underground inferno has been raging for over 6 decades with enough fuel to keep burning for another 250 years. In the early 1960s, Centralia was a bustling coal mining community of 1,400 people whose lives revolved around the network of mines beneath their homes. Then came May 27, 1962, the day everything changed. Someone was burning trash near an old mine opening, and that spark ignited something catastrophic. The fire spread underground through abandoned coal seams and mine tunnels. For years, the government threw everything they had at it, but you can't fight a fire when your entire town's foundation is burning. By 1984, residents were relocated, buildings were demolished, and Centralia's zip code was erased in 2002. What you'll find today feels like stepping onto an alien planet. Roads and sidewalks remain, creating ghostly outlines where houses once stood. Steam rises from cracks in the asphalt like miniature geysers. The famous Graffiti Highway, a permanently closed section of Route 61, slowly buckles from intense underground heat. The air carries a faint sulfuric smell. This otherworldly atmosphere inspired the horror film Silent Hill, making Centralia a pilgrimage site for dark tourism enthusiasts. It's not your typical ghost town. This community was consumed by the very industry that built it. If fire couldn't kill community spirit, just wait until you hear about the town that wore an insult like a badge of honor. 5. Yellow Dog Village. Tucked away in Armstrong County sits Yellow Dog Village, where 26 decaying buildings preserve nearly a century of secrets. This isn't your typical ghost town story. These workers didn't just accept a corporate insult, they turned it into their battle cry. Between 1910 and 1930, Pittsburgh Limestone Corporation built this company town for miners who signed controversial yellow dog contracts, agreements where they gave up union rights in exchange for homes and job security. When pro-union miners mockingly called them yellow dogs, these residents did something incredible. They embraced the insult and proudly named their entire community after it. What makes Yellow Dog Village absolutely fascinating is how it died twice. First, the limestone mines closed in the 1950s, but the community survived, even renaming itself Shadyside Village as former miners found other work. They stayed for decades, building lives beyond the company that created them. Then came the final blow around 2008. E. coli contamination struck the water supply, forcing sudden abandonment. Residents fled so quickly they left personal belongings behind, creating this eerie time capsule of early 21st century life frozen in place. Today, a history teacher owns this privately held village, operating it as a working farm with paid public tours. The proceeds fund the ongoing preservation of these crumbling duplexes and homes that tell such a powerful story about workers' defiance. 4. Eckley Miners Village. Nestled deep in Luzerne County's mountains, lies one of Pennsylvania's most fascinating hidden gems. Eckley Miners Village, where time literally stopped in 1969. Picture bustling streets filled with Welsh, English, German, Irish, and Eastern European immigrants, all drawn by coal work. But here's what makes Eckley absolutely captivating. This wasn't just any mining town. This was a company-controlled universe where every aspect of your life belonged to the corporation. The story begins in 1853, when prospectors discovered massive anthracite deposits beneath peaceful Shingletown. Within a year, Sharp, Lysenring, and Company swooped in, transforming this quiet settlement into a powerhouse operation, even renaming it Eckley. What's both eerie and intriguing is the complete corporate control. Imagine living where your house, grocery store, doctor, and paycheck all belong to the same company. Up to 1,000 residents called this place home, living and spending within this closed system. Eckley almost faded into obscurity, but a plot twist saved its incredible history. In 1969, when Eckley faced abandonment, Paramount Studios, filming The Molly Maguires, constructed period buildings and froze everything in time. This audacious move helped preserve this ghost town. Take a trip to Eckley today and you'll find Pennsylvania's largest preserved anthracite mining community. You can walk through original miners' houses, the company store, doctor's office, and 2 churches. Remarkably, descendants of original miners still rent homes from the state. Eckley isn't just preserved history, it's a powerful reminder of the immigrant families who powered America's Industrial Revolution. Eckley's Hollywood rescue was a rare exception in the world of company towns, but our next town wasn't that lucky. 3. Concrete City. Secluded within Nanticoke's hills lies one of Pennsylvania's most bizarre and haunting secrets. Concrete City, a crumbling ghost town that's equal parts architectural marvel and epic corporate failure. Picture this. It's 1911 and the Delaware, Lackawanna, and Western Railroad has a wild vision. They're building what they call the Garden City of the Anthracite region. 22 futuristic concrete duplexes surrounding a central courtyard complete with tennis courts and baseball fields. This wasn't just housing, this was supposed to be the community of the future for their high-ranking mining employees. Here's what makes this place absolutely fascinating. The company marketed these concrete houses as so incredibly sanitary, you could literally hose them down inside. Talk about confidence in your product. They promise fire-resistant, durable, progressive living that would revolutionize company housing. But here's the eerie twist. Their revolutionary concrete construction became their complete undoing. The innovative buildings turned into moisture nightmares, with interior walls constantly dripping condensation and clothes freezing solid in winter closets. When Glen Alden Coal Company took over in 1924, they faced a brutal choice. Spend $200,000 installing proper sewage systems or abandon ship entirely. They chose abandonment. Even more incredible, they tried demolishing these concrete monsters with 100 sticks of dynamite, and the buildings won. The structures were too robust to destroy. Today, this post-apocalyptic landscape attracts urban explorers while serving as training grounds for military, police, and firefighters. Nature slowly reclaims these concrete ruins, creating a breathtaking monument to corporate ambition colliding spectacularly with reality. 2. Frick's Locks. Along the Schuylkill River in Chester County lies one of Pennsylvania's most eerie and fascinating ghost towns, Frick's Locks, where Revolutionary War-era buildings stand in the shadow of massive nuclear cooling towers. Frick's Locks is a village that survived centuries of change, only to meet its match with the atomic age. Picture bustling canal locks from the 1820s, where locks number 54 and number 55 on John Frick's farmland became crucial stops along the Schuylkill navigation system, moving coal and goods straight to Philadelphia. This resilient community weathered the transition from canals to railroads in the late 19th century and kept thriving for decades. But here's where the story takes a haunting turn when Philadelphia Electric Company began eyeing the area for the Limerick nuclear power station in the 1960s. What's both mysterious and unsettling are the conflicting accounts of those final days in 1986. Some residents describe voluntary buyouts and relocations, while others tell stories of forced 48-hour evacuation notices. This ethical ambiguity adds an unresolved human drama to the site's already haunted reputation. Today, 10 abandoned buildings comprise this official U.S. historic district, creating a breathtaking and eerie visual contrast, 18th century ruins standing defiantly against the very nuclear towers that caused their abandonment. Frick's Locks represents technology's relentless march, showing how even the most adaptable communities can't survive every wave of progress. So, we've seen towns destroyed by fire, water, concrete, and that even nuclear power, but our number one ghost town was abandoned by the very man who built it. 1. Scotia. Quietly concealed within Centre County's wilderness lies one of Pennsylvania's most fascinating secrets. Scotia, a lost company town that industrial titan Andrew Carnegie built from nothing and abandoned just as quickly. Here's the reason. In 1880, Carnegie leased 500 acres in stunning Nittany Valley, naming his new settlement Scotia after his beloved Scotland. This wasn't just any mining operation. Carnegie created a thriving community of 400 residents complete with a store, school, church, and civic center featuring its own library. He even gifted the town band gold-mounted instruments. Talk about company pride. However, the town's existence was as brief as it was profitable. Carnegie's massive ore washer processed iron that traveled straight to his Pittsburgh furnaces, generating roughly $10 million before he sold everything in 1899. By 1911, when higher quality Minnesota ore became cheaper to ship, operation ceased entirely. But here's where things get interesting. What was once Carnegie's bustling industrial empire has transformed into something breathtaking. Today, Scotia's remnants lie within the 6,200-acre Scotia Barrens, now state game lands number 176. This rare pitch pine and scrub oak ecosystem protects endangered species where miners once worked. Only concrete foundations and old railroad beds converted to hiking trails remain, often covered in local graffiti. Scotia proves nature's enduring power over human enterprise. Industrial scars beautifully transformed into a protected wilderness sanctuary where adventure awaits. And there you have it, 7 forgotten ghost towns in Pennsylvania that reveal the incredible stories hiding in plain sight across the state. From Centralia's underground inferno that's been burning since 1962 to Scotia's transformation from Carnegie's industrial empire into protected wilderness, these places defy expectations and will leave you with unforgettable memories of Pennsylvania's hidden past. Which of these ghost towns would you be brave enough to explore? Let me know in the comments below, and if you love discovering these hidden gems, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for more incredible places you never knew existed. Trust me, Pennsylvania has way more secrets than you think.